Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be looking at a listener request to learn about boosting website traffic.
Okay.
They specifically wanted us to look at Mihigo Anaja's strategies to get multiplied audience for your website.
Ah, Mihigo. Yeah.
And Viego's kind of a fascinating figure. He's not just an author. He's written 9 books.
Wow.
But also over 200 computer programs,
Interesting.
some of which can even be found on a website called GJ Shop.
Oh, wow. GJ Shop. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about it myself. But first, let's dive into his strategies for attracting more visitors to your site.
Yeah, sounds good.
He lays out like 14 different strategies in the book.
Okay.
But we're going to try to extract, the most impactful ones.
Right.
So where should we start?
Well, I think it's important to start with visibility. You could have the most amazing website in the world,
Yeah.
but if it's buried under a million other search results, no one will ever find it.
Right, like a tree falling in the forest.
Exactly.
So you're saying SEO?
SEO is the cornerstone. You got it. Search engine optimization.
Everyone throws that term around.
Yeah.
I'll admit I'm still a little fuzzy on like the specifics sometimes.
Yeah, SEO can be kind of a dense topic.
Yeah.
It's all about making sure Google can understand and rank your website.
So it's like speaking Google's language.
Yeah, exactly. You need to know what people are searching for, the keywords they're using.
Okay, keywords.
Yes, and use those keywords strategically throughout your website.
So not just like sprinkling them randomly in.
No, Google's smarter than that.
Okay, good.
It needs to feel natural, like a conversation.
So keyword conversation, not keyword stuffing. I like that.
There you go.
What else should we keep in mind with SEO?
Site speed is crucial.
Oh, yeah.
People are impatient if your website takes forever to load.
Yeah, it'll bounce right off.
Exactly. And don't forget mobile responsiveness.
Oh, right. More and more people are on their phones.
All the time. So your website needs to look good and work well on any device.
It's all about user experience, right?
Absolutely. A smooth, enjoyable experience keeps people on your site.
Makes sense.
That's
Okay,
all.
so SEO is for getting found on search engines. But what about social media?
Yes, social media, that's another powerhouse. Mihigo talks about Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the usual suspects.
Yeah.
They can drive a lot of traffic.
But it's not enough to just like have an account and post randomly, right?
No, you need engaging content. Think eye-catching visuals, maybe ask some thought-provoking questions.
And a call to action?
Always a call to action.
Calls to action. I always struggle with those.
It's simpler than you think. Just tell people what you want them to do.
Okay.
Do you want them to buy a product, download a guide, sign up for your newsletter?
Right.
Make it crystal clear.
So instead of just like learn more,
Yeah.
it should be more like discover the secrets to benefit by downloading our free guide or something.
Perfect. You got it.
Okay, so we've got SEO for search engines, social media for reaching a wider audience. But what about the content itself?
Content is king.
It always comes back to content.
It does. And I'm not talking about just any content. It's
Right.
got to be valuable, shareable, the kind of stuff that sparks conversations.
Ooh, that's interesting. So like what kind of content is that?
Well, think about formats like infographics,
Uh-huh.
videos, even listicles.
Yeah.
They're all easy to digest and share,
I could see that.
and that helps amplify your reach. Get people talking about your site.
So we've got SEO, social media, and amazing content. But how do we get people onto our email list?
Email marketing.
Is that still relevant?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It's a direct line to your most engaged audience.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But how do you convince people to give you their email address?
Offer them something valuable, a lead magnet.
A lead magnet. What's that?
Think ebooks, guides, checklists, templates, anything that gives them something in exchange for their email.
It's like a little bribe.
Kind of, but it's
Okay.
mutually beneficial.
Right. They get something valuable, you get their email address.
Exactly. And then you can nurture that relationship with newsletters, updates, special offers.
And since they signed up for a specific reason,
Right.
you can tailor your messages to their interests.
Exactly. It makes them feel more valued.
So we've covered SEO, social media, content marketing, email marketing.
It's a lot.
What if we need like a quicker boost? Is there a way to jumpstart traffic more rapidly?
Well, Mihigo does mention paid advertising.
Paid advertising.
Things like Google ads, Facebook ads.
Right.
They can definitely provide a faster boost, but it's important to use them strategically.
So we shouldn't just throw money at ads without a plan.
Exactly. You need to understand your target audience. Tailor your ads to their interests.
So we're not wasting money on people who aren't interested.
Right.
Okay, got it. So we've got a mix of organic strategies and paid options, but there's one strategy I'm particularly curious about: guest blogging.
Yes.
How does writing for other websites help drive traffic back to your own site.
Well, think of it as borrowing someone else's audience.
Okay.
When you publish a guest post on a website that already has a following in your niche, you're tapping into a pre-existing community of potential visitors. And if they like what they read, they're more likely to click on your bio or the links in your article to learn more about you and your website.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's a win-win.
Exactly. You get exposure to a new audience, and the website you're writing for gets fresh, high-quality content.
And speaking of connecting with a new audience,
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued by what Mihigo says about online communities like Reddit.
Ah, yes.
I spend way too much time on Reddit already.
Yeah.
Can you really use those platforms to drive traffic to your website?
Absolutely. Participating in communities like Reddit Quora niche forums can be a great way to promote your website subtly while building relationships.
I'm all for building relationships, but I worry about coming across as spammy.
Yeah.
How do you strike that balance between being helpful and promoting your website?
The key is to focus on providing value.
Okay.
Don't just drop links to your website everywhere you know.
Right.
Engage in conversations, answer questions thoughtfully, and only mention your website when it's relevant and adds to the discussion.
So it's more about positioning yourself as a knowledgeable resource.
Exactly, building trust within these communities.
I like that this reminds me of something else. Mihigo mentions content upgrades.
Ah,
What exactly are those, and how do they tie into email marketing?
okay, so imagine you've written a blog post about the best productivity hacks for entrepreneurs, right?
Okay.
A content upgrade would be a bonus resource that complements that post, like a downloadable checklist or a printable template.
So it's like offering a little something extra.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you offer it in exchange for the reader's email address.
Ah, so you grow your email list with people who are interested in your content.
Precisely. It's
Yeah.
a win-win. They get something extra helpful. You get to nurture that relationship through email.
I love that it feels like a genuine exchange of value.
Mm.
Okay, so we've covered content upgrades. What about influencer marketing?
Influencer marketing.
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure I understand how that works.
Essentially, it involves partnering with individuals who already have a large following in your niche.
Okay, so people who have already built trust and credibility with their audience.
Right, and when they recommend your product or service, it can really boost your visibility.
So it's kind of like word of mouth marketing, but amplified.
Exactly, but the key is to choose influencers whose audience aligns with your target market.
Right. You want to make sure you're reaching the right people.
Absolutely, and it's not just about having them shout out your product.
Right. It needs to be authentic.
Exactly, it should feel organic and integrated into their usual content.
So it could be a sponsored post where they share their experience with your product.
Yes, or even a joint webinar where you both share valuable insights.
Oh, speaking of webinars, those are something I'm really excited about.
Webinars are fantastic.
I always learn so much from attending webinars. It just feels like such an engaging way to connect with experts.
It is. They're a great way to showcase your expertise, provide valuable content, and interact with your audience in real time.
And you can record them and repurpose that content later on.
Exactly. Get more mileage out of it.
That's a great tip. So we've got webinars, but if you really want to wow your audience, Mihigo suggests offering free tools or resources on your website.
Free stuff is always a winner.
It is. Why is that so effective?
It attracts visitors to your site while demonstrating your expertise and building trust.
So it's like giving them a taste of what you can do.
Precisely.
What are some examples of good free tools or resources?
It really depends on your niche, you know?
Okay.
Think about the problems your audience is facing and how you can help if you're a financial planner.
Uh-huh.
You could offer a free budget spreadsheet or a retirement calculator.
Right.
If you're a fitness coach, you could offer a free workout plan or a healthy recipe guide.
Those are great examples.
Mm.
Okay, so we've got free tools to attract visitors, but what about turning those visitors into loyal fans? Mihigo talks about referral programs
Referral programs, yeah.
as a way to drive word-of-mouth marketing. How does that work?
It's all about harnessing the power of recommendations.
Recommendations.
Yeah, think about it when a friend recommends something. You're much more likely to check it out than if you just saw an ad.
That's so true. Recommendations carry so much weight.
Exactly. And referral programs incentivize that behavior.
How so?
By offering rewards to existing customers for referring their friends, it could be a discount code, free merchandise, anything, really.
So everyone wins.
Everyone wins, the existing customer gets rewarded, their friend gets introduced to something new, and you get more traffic and potential customers.
It's brilliant, but as we wrap up this section, I think it's crucial to emphasize what Mihigo stresses throughout his book.
What's that?
quality and consistency are key.
Ah, yes, you can have all the fancy strategies in the world,
Yeah.
but if your content is subpar or you're not showing up consistently,
Right.
you won't see lasting results.
It's like building a house. You need a strong foundation to support everything else.
Exactly. And in this case, that foundation is high-quality content that resonates with your audience.
Content is king.
More like content is the whole kingdom.
That's a great way to put it. But even with the best content in the world, you need to know what's working and what's not.
And that's where data analysis comes in.
Right. Using tools like Google Analytics to track your website traffic.
Google Analytics is a goldmine of information.
Is it hard to use?
It can seem daunting at first, but it's worth learning
Why is that?
because it tells you where your traffic is coming from, what pages people are visiting, how long they're staying, all sorts of valuable insights.
So you can refine your strategies based on actual data.
Exactly. No more guesswork, just informed decisions.
I like that it's like having a behind-the-scenes look at how people are interacting with your website.
Precisely. You can see what's working, what's not, and adjust accordingly.
Wow, we covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah, we did.
From SEO and content marketing to influencer collaborations and content upgrades.
Uh-huh.
It feels like we unlocked like a whole toolbox of strategies to boost website traffic.
We did. And as Mihigo reminds us, it's about choosing the right tools for the job
Okay.
and using them effectively.
And that's what we're going to explore in this final part of our deep dive.
Exactly.
We've seen that there's like a ton of strategies to attract more visitors.
Yeah.
But as Mihigo stresses, it's all about creating genuine value for your audience.
Right. Value is key.
And he says none of these strategies will work in isolation, right? It's about weaving them together into like a cohesive tapestry that attracts, engages, and retains visitors.
It's like creating a beautiful work of art.
Oh, I like that.
You need to consider all the elements and how they work together.
Yeah, to create the desired effect.
Exactly. And just like an artist needs to understand their materials, you need to understand your target audience.
Okay, so who are they? What are their pain points? What kind of content resonates with them?
That's what you need to figure out.
And that's where data analysis comes in, right?
Absolutely.
By tracking your website traffic and understanding how people are interacting with your content.
You can refine your strategies, make sure you're reaching the right people.
With the right message.
Precisely.
Okay, so tools like Google Analytics can help with that.
Oh, absolutely. Google Analytics is a treasure trove of information.
So it can give us insights into our audience's behavior.
Yes, and help you tailor your content and your marketing efforts to their specific needs.
It's like having a secret decoder ring
I like that.
that reveals what our audience is thinking and how they're interacting with our website.
Exactly.
But even with all these strategies and all these insights, it can still feel overwhelming.
I understand.
There are so many options, so many platforms, so many things to consider.
Right, it can be a lot. But that's why Mihigo says you need to find what resonates with you.
Oh, okay.
Which of these strategies excites you? Which ones align with your strengths and the needs of your audience?
So instead of trying to do everything at once,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's better to start with one strategy.
Yes, pick one that feels aligned with your goals and experiment with it.
And once you've kind of mastered that one,
And you can move on to another.
so it's a process of continuous learning and refinement.
It is.
Okay, so instead of feeling overwhelmed by all the options,
Right.
maybe the key is to embrace experimentation
Yeah.
and find what works best for you and your audience.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to do this alone.
That's true.
There are resources available to help you. Mihigo's work is a great place to start.
You mentioned earlier that some of his computer programs can be found on a site called GJ Shop.
Yes, GJ Shop. That sounds pretty interesting.
It is definitely worth checking out.
Okay. And he's also got a blog, a newsletter, a podcast, even a YouTube channel.
He does. He's everywhere.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one key takeaway you want to leave our listeners with today?
I think the most important thing is to remember that building a successful online presence takes time, effort, and a genuine desire to connect with your audience.
Right. It's not about shortcuts or quick fixes.
No, it's about showing up consistently, providing value, and nurturing those relationships over time.
And if you're feeling lost or overwhelmed, just remember that even small steps can make a big difference.
So maybe just start by brainstorming a list of keywords, or creating an engaging social media post, or outlining a lead magnet.
Any of those would be great first steps.
Every journey starts with a single step, right?
It does.
And as you continue to learn and experiment and refine your approach,
You'll be amazed at what you can accomplish.
well, this has been such a great deep dive.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned so much about website traffic growth.
I'm glad to hear that. Just remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
Embrace the process, experiment, Learn and, most importantly, have fun along the way.
Great advice. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration of ideas that matter.